Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to NifnexTV. We are obviously addressing the case study today about digital clutter. Everyone's got issues with emails coming in, but at the same time, emails are important and newsletters are important to send out. So we've got two panelists here. We've got Anton and we've got Chee, who's sort of almost going to have boxing gloves because Chee sort of specializes in how to manage the emails that come in and how to sort of avoid the spam and all of that stuff. And Anton's about sending the newsletter, managing the effectiveness of it, and tracking it as well. So one's going to it's going to say stop the emails coming in. Anton's going to go how the emails going to get in. So they're going to actually have a bit of a go, and I'll move out of the way. But and Anton, welcome. Could you introduce yourself quickly, and then we can get into it after.
Yeah, absolutely. My name is Anton Menkveld, and my business is called Designer Life Technologies, and we help small and medium-sized businesses to build relationships with their clients. Obviously, email marketing is a big aspect of it, and automated email marketing is quite important. And we help clients and businesses to do it right.
Thank you, Anton. Chee.
Thanks, Shazan. Chee from Expert Messaging Australia. We help employees and employers to be more productive on emails. We call ourselves email productivity specialists. So a big part of that is inbox management. So that's what we'll be talking about today, I guess. Yeah.
Fair, there you go. We might as well get you started on that then.
Yeah, sure.
Put the boxing gloves on.
Yeah, look, a lot of our clients, traditionally we've worked with big corporate clients, but more and more we're getting calls from small businesses asking us how do we manage all these emails coming in. I don't know whether you know or not, statistically Australian employees are spending about 28% of their work time just in the inbox. That's about 2 hours and 15 minutes every single employee, every single day. So it's a heck of a long time. And newsletters play a big part of it. A lot of people that we work with, that I see, hoard a lot of information. They love to just keep track and save and archive all the newsletters. It just goes everywhere. So yeah, it's a big problem for a lot of people. So what we tell people essentially is if you're not going to do anything with it in 7 days, ditch it, delete it. That's pretty much the principle which we apply. It's a 7-day principle, and if you don't happen to do anything with the same newsletter for 7 times in a row, unsubscribe. So it's the lucky number 7. Yeah.
How do they monitor to see if they've actually done anything with it?
You just go back and review it once in a while. Some people have a monthly review, some people have a weekly review. Once in every while, look at the subscriptions that you're subscribed to. If you're finding out that it's really useful, but you're not doing anything with it, then obviously it's not that useful. That's what we find a lot. A lot of things are very attractive, very useful, but it's hard for you to do anything with it. It's either too complicated or it's too big, or you just can't fit it into your schedule. Then obviously it's not going to be actionable. That's what we say. If it's actionable and you can do it within 7 days, then great. That's one of the things to look out for in a newsletter. If it's really interesting, nice to read, but you can't do anything with it, just delete it, junk it.
If you're anything like me, I mean, I actually sort of, it's the last straw that breaks the camel's back. So some newsletter comes in, I go, oh, I've been subscribed to this. Why am I subscribed to it? Then you sort of put that on the subject, bring up all the newsletters, and you go delete, 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 and then unsubscribe after. That's what I do, and it's probably not the right thing to do. But is there a sort of a schedule? Is there something that you could do, almost like get them into that inbox, or like create a folder or something that goes into that folder?
Yeah, sure. A lot of the time you don't want to read your newsletters during your prime time, which is all the time you're supposed to be doing either your telemarketing or your business analysis or accounting or whatever you're supposed to be doing. That's what I call the prime time. So there's usually blocks of time during the day that you can do all those little extra stuff like checking your emails and so forth. Blocks of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour there, here and there, waiting for the train to come at the train station, those sort of things. And that's what we would say, that's the best sort of time to do a little bit of reading. 5 minutes for an article here, another 5 minutes for another article there. The thing that we would say is the best thing to do is set up a read later type of system, and then normally that would, all those sort of newsletters would be directed to your mobile phone or iPad.
Yeah.
And then when you're waiting for the bus or train, you've got 5 minutes. Read that newsletter. Then,
So, is there an app that lets you do that?
yeah, sure.
or-
There are many apps, but the two apps that I favour most, one's called Pocket. It allows you to dump all your newsletters either from your browser or from your email into a web-based app that is accessible from your mobile phone and your iPad as well. And the other one is Evernote, which a lot of people know about. It's a note-taking system. Evernote, which integrates with your email, allows you to send stuff from your email and the stuff that you come across on the websites to be sent to Evernote as well. So you can read articles at your leisure during those little pockets of time during the day that you've got a few minutes free. Yeah.
Brilliant. On the flip side, Anton,
Yes.
how do you manage? How does a business sort of make sure the email comes through to the inbox, stand out, so it can be sort of read? People can actually click on it and even track it, and then sort of measure what's happening.
Absolutely. I think at the end of the day, our aim is also not to clutter up people's inboxes. It's really to give people the information that they want in a format that they can consume it when they want to. So what we teach our clients and what we help them to implement is to use the technologies that are available for small businesses to start building relationships with people rather than just sending out emails. So if we go back a couple of years, we had email marketing was in the form of marketing lists where you'd simply broadcast emails to a whole list of people and hope for the best, essentially. What we are talking about is using the better technology and more up-to-date technology. We use a system called Infusionsoft to do that, that allows you to build a relationship. And it's about understanding who you're talking to, who the specific person is, and to learn about their behavior, to give them options, to indicate to you what they're interested in and what they're not interested in, and also to track their level of engagement. So if somebody's not opening up your emails, stop sending them emails. If they are opening up your emails, send them more about that particular topic that they're reading. I think some of the things Chee has mentioned is very important. That 5-minute window for people to read something is quite important. So a newsletter that's 3 pages long doesn't work. Send it to them in a small snippet and try and establish their feedback on it. Did they read it? Were they happy with it? Are they interacting with your material? If you have got a video in your material, are they watching your video? And if they're not interacting, then back off. Stop talking to them. We talk about building relationships, and it's very much like dating. It's not about selling somebody something right from the start. It's about understanding what they need and what they're interested in, giving them more information about that, and establishing yourself as an expert in your field through the useful information that you provide, very much personalized and targeted towards the people that want to consume the information. And your sales message will be weaved in there in a very strategic way. And it's definitely not about filling up people's inboxes anymore. Those days are over.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I think industry definitely plays a role. The length of your selling cycle, if you like, definitely has an impact there. If you're working with people and they take one buying decision in a year, then there's no point sending them something every week. Yeah. What we do with the technology, with the software that we use, is we can back off almost, so we can sort of take the foot off the pedal a little bit and then send them one a month, or maybe once every 3 months rather than once a week. So if we can monitor that somebody's really engaging and they're interested and so on, follow it up with a phone call as well. Very important, I think. A big aspect of online marketing these days is doing it slightly different, which more often than not means doing something offline, which means send them a postcard or send them a physical letter or give them a phone call. And if your email marketing system can pick up where people are getting engaged and then move offline and start engaging with them one-on-one, that will also increase your sales. And then people that stop engaging in your newsletter, back off slightly, but keep sort of lower the frequency, I guess. because the top of mind is really important. And if they do take a decision in a year's time, you want them to come to you.
Yeah.
So it is important to keep engaging, but then maybe follow that up also every 6 months with something different, with a physical letter or a postcard or something like that. Yeah.
I'll just say,
Add something to that. If someone hasn't done anything with a particular piece of information in 7 days, researchers tell us that they're highly unlikely to ever do anything at all. It just gets shelved and disappears into somewhere, I don't know, into some sort of archive. So have a look at that. And also the other thing I was going to say is every time you send an email out to someone, if they've got the alerts on their iPads and iPhones and their the little pop-up window on Outlook, you're costing them about 5 minutes every single time they're receiving that, whether they find it useful or not. So that's from a social and I guess from a moral perspective, that's something to consider as well.
Yes, one of the key points I think with email marketing these days is permission, and giving somebody an ebook is not permission on its own, but it is a way to attract them. And what I would have in there is actual permission to give to send them more. And we do this in the form of double opt-in normal, where somebody will receive an email and it will say, we'd like to send you more information. Are you happy with this? And what I tell my clients is, in that email, will you send them the ebook in any case? So this is not about trying to trick people into anything. It's about giving people what you're offering, and whether they sign up for your newsletter or not is almost got to be secondary. But then giving them the option to give you permission to do that is absolutely vital. And also getting permission all along the way as well. If you want to start sending them information about something different, ask for their permission again. Because then it's going to be, if you change the subject almost, it's going to be less relevant unless they've said, yeah, I'm quite interested in that. And if they're not interested, don't send it to them.
It's really important to establish what relevant means. What's relevant to me is relevant. Is different to Anton, for example. Even though that piece of content really is a fabulous, it'll knock your socks off sort of content.
Absolutely,
You've done a whole 40 hours to research every bit of information in it. You just can't go wrong. But I'm interested in footy. Anton's interested in cricket. It's just different for everyone. So you really got to filter that through to make sure that piece of information gets to where it's supposed to go for those people that appreciate it the most. Otherwise, it'll just be sitting there, rotting away in someone's inbox. Yeah.
There you go. It looks like we're solving this without actually the boxing gloves.
I think we want the same thing at the end of the day.
There you go, that's it. So, Anton, could you share your hot 5 tips with us before we close?
Yeah, absolutely. I think number one, it's about building relationships. It's not about selling to people who aren't ready to sell. It's not about asking somebody to marry them on the first date. Okay, it's about asking permission. In other words, testing people's level of interest and what they're interested in. Make it useful for them. In other words, the quality of the content. Make it useful. Utility sells. It's just if something's useful, people like to engage with it. They like to share it, and that just brings all that social media magic into it as well. Make it personal. In other words, understand who the person is. If he's bought a certain product of you, don't try and sell the same product to him again. Know his name, know his birthday. Use that sort of information in your email marketing, and track. Keep on measuring, making sure you know who's opening which of your content works, which doesn't.
Done. Thank you, Anton. Chee, would you like to share your hot 5 tips?
Yeah, sure. Already mentioned. First one is if you're not actioning something within 7 days, delete it. If you're consistently not actioning something from the same newsletter, for example, 7 times, unsubscribe from that particular newsletter. Third, if you don't have anything already, set yourself up a read later type of system. 2 apps to look out for is Evernote and Pocket. So you can Google those and have a look. Number 3 is to, when you process your email, send those particular newsletters to those apps. And number 5 is to read them when you have those little pockets of time during your day, and don't read your newsletter during those prime times, because what you're doing is, one, I would like to challenge you to read your newsletters when you would otherwise pick up your phone or iPad to check your emails. Researchers are telling us that we are checking out our emails far too many times. For most people, 3 or 4 times is probably a good sort of number, but researchers are telling us most people are checking the emails like 30, 40, 50 times a day. It's just not productive at all. So replace one bad habit with a good habit. When you're feeling the itch to check your email, pick up your phone instead to read a newsletter, and then you'll be filling it up with feeling a bad habit with a good habit, and still satisfying that itch to trying to do something useful with that 5 minutes of time that you've got while you're waiting for the train or bus or waiting for the next meeting or whatever the case may be.
So
that's the 5 that I've
so
got.
the good start would be to turn off the pop-up window on your email in that case.
Absolutely. All those alerts on your iPad, iPhone, on your Outlook, switch it all off. Absolutely. They're devastating in terms of productivity.
Yeah. Thank you, Chee. Thank you, Anton. Does anyone have any questions? So, ready to close? Thank you again, ladies and gentlemen. We'll do more panel discussions after this. Thank you.